guys, welcome back to the channel Nate's Pink Bookshelf. My name is Nate's Niece for those of you who are new to the channel or who just happened to stumble across this video. And I'm back yet again in the same outfit because I am recording my TBRs on the same day, and I previously recorded my Becca's Bookathon TBR, so if you want to see that, click the eye to go to that video. But this video, as the title says, is going to be my magical readathon TBR, and I am stoked. When I saw G's video on this, I was like, oh my. So I did partake in the original magical readathon, but with all the controversy and things going on with the author, it's just, she changed it. She created her own world and she did a phenomenal video on it. So click the eye to go to the video. But basically she goes through her new world, which is called Aeldia. She has a brief history of Aeldia, which I did print out, and it talks about the world of Aeldia. She talks about the different continents of Aeldia and then the different sort of people that live in Aeldia. And she did a fantastic job. I mean, can you guys see one of the continents? There we go. Then we have like illustrations of the various people. So we have the Eterians, which are like dark elves. No, they're actually like vampires, if I'm not mistaken, right? Yeah, they're like vampires. You have the Earthlings, which there are 4 or 5 different types of Earthlings. You of course have your humans. Like, she went through a whole, just had someone create the actual world, and so this month for September is just going to be a small starter in which you are going to be going to Orilium, which is pretty much the magical academy. So here's a map of Aeldia with all of the continents, and here in the middle is Orilium, where the magical school is. And so for September she has the novice path, which looks like this. And there are a total of 7 prompts, but you really only have to complete 2. Of course, I'm going to do all 7. Plus, there are 3 additional prompts that you can do to sort of do a character creation, which I am going to have a separate video for that. So after you see this TBR video, you can go to my character creation TBR video because I have some books for that. But yeah, there are 7 prompts. Again, you only have to complete 2, so as long as you read 2 books for the prompts, you're fine, you're good to go. But I gotta make a difference. So it says, the novice path awaits your mind, your pride and greed must stay behind. Now walk the trials, play the part, to help unearth those pure of heart. And I'm so excited. I did print it out on like regular white paper. She has 2 editions. You can print plain white paper, or you can do it if you're gonna print it on parchment. I just printed it in color. I didn't really care. But here it is close up. All the information, like I said, you can click the eye to go to G's video. Even the map is like of Aeldia is gorgeous, like gorgeous. But yes, so we have the traveler's key here, which has all of the prompts, including the character creation prompts. And you need the character creation prompts for the scholar's key, which you guys can see I pretty much already filled mine out with my character's name and things like that. So I'll talk about those books and prompts in a separate video. This one is just going to be on the novice path prompts. And so we're gonna dive right into this because I don't want to be too long. So the first prompt is the novice path entrance, which is to read a book with a map. And I'm kind of stretching it here just a little bit, and I will say a lot of these books are going to look similar to my previous TBR because I tried to mesh these 2 TBRs together. And so read a book with a map in it, right? Now technically this has a map in it, right? It does, but the map is actually the end pages. And so I'm going with Kingdom of the Wicked by Kerri Maniscalco, and this is a YA fantasy all about 2 twin sisters. One is Amelia and then the other one is Victoria, and Amelia ends up finding her sister pretty much dead. They're both witches, and so she comes across Wrath, who was one of the wicked princes of hell, and she pretty much tries to discover what happened. But in this book there is a map on the end pages of you know, what is it supposed to be? The 7 circles. And so you have the gates of hell, the house of wrath, the lake of fire, the black river, the house of greed, blackwood forest, house of envy, the flaming tombs, house of pride, house of sloth, storm of sins, violet winds, house of gluttony, and house of lust. And so this is a map. I am including this as a map. Don't care if you don't agree with me, I'm sorry, but this is an actual map of the 7 circles. The map is also on the back as well, and so it counts. It counts. I don't care. It counts. And so that is going to be the book that I use for the prompt of the novice path entrance, which is read a book with a map. We have this one. Okay, so the next prompt is Ashbourne Tree, which is a book that's been tempting you or top of your TBR. And so this is actually, it was a little complicated, but I decided to go with this book because one of the other one that I really wanted to read, this one is screaming my name more because I'm already familiar with the worlds and the characters, and so that is going to be Reaper of Souls by Rena Barron. This is a sequel to Kingdom of Souls, which is up right here, if you guys can see. Kingdom of Souls, we'll pull it out. Sequel to Kingdom of Souls, and it basically picks up where we left off with Ara, finding out things about her mother and the Demon King and things like that, and finding out why she really didn't have magic, or so we thought, or whatever the case may be. And so I'm excited to continue on with this series, figure out what was next for Ara, and this cover is giving me life. It's giving life. And so it says, power is a gift and a curse. And you know, Ara went through a lot. She went through a lot. She struggled a lot. Baby girl struggled a lot in the first book, and so I'm ready to see her just turn into a savage in the sequel. I'm ready for it, because she was technically already a slight savage, but I'm excited for her now to be like a major savage. So we have this. Okay, so the next prompt is The Mist of Solitude, which is read a standalone, and for that I'm actually going to go with a contemporary romance, and that is going to be Beach Read by Emily Henry. Now, I have never read anything from Emily Henry, but I've heard many things about her. There's another YA book that she came out with, A Million Junes or something along those lines. I think that was like a Romeo and Juliet kind of retelling, but I heard many people talk about this, as well as her latest book, which I also will be getting from Book of the Month. But yeah, this basically follows two authors. This guy's name is Augustus, and he writes literary fiction, and then hers is January. She writes romances. They went on vacation. I think they're next to each other in like beach houses or whatever the case may be, and they both have writer's block, and so they decide to swap sort of genres and write, and I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a romance ensuing and blah blah blah, and I'm super excited to dive into this. And so I heard that this was good, and then I heard that her latest release was amazing, and so I'm excited to dive into this. And so we have Beach Read. The next prompt is Ruin of the Sky. Read a book featuring ghosts, haunted house, or other supernatural elements. For that, I'm going to go with Things in Jars by Jess Kidd, because I heard many great things about it when it did come out. This I got from Book of the Month back in January of 2020. And yeah, so this is adult historical fiction, which has a little bit of mystery. It's set in Victorian London. It's about a spellbinding mystery. It follows a female sleuth, but she's basically trying to recover a remarkable child, and I believe this child was like a mermaid or something along those lines. But there are tattooed ghosts, there are other supernatural beings and things like that, and so I'm gonna go with this one. I'm super excited to dive into it. The next prompt is Obsidian Falls, which is read a thriller or a mystery book, and for that I'm gonna go with Riley Sager's latest release, which is Survive the Night. Now, I heard a little bit of skeptical, not skeptical, but I heard some mixed reviews about this book, but I'm still gonna give it a go. It's adult thriller, I think it is, and it says it's set in 1991, which I was born in 1991. So it says it's November 1991. Nirvana's in the tape deck. George H.W. Bush is in the White House, and movie obsessed college student Charlie Jordan is in a car accident with a man who might be a serial killer. That's all. I'm excited to dive into it. Most of his thrillers pretty much get like a 3.5, 4 for me, so I'm excited to see what I'll give this one, if I like it as much. I have not read his original 2 books that came out, Final Girls, and I can't remember the other book title, but I haven't read those, and so I'm just gonna dive straight into this, you know, whatever. But yeah, this is a thriller, and I'm super excited. Then we have the next prompt, which is Tower of Rumination, which is read a 5-star prediction, and for that I'm gonna go with King of Thorns by Mark Lawrence. Okay, so we love this. Okay, I absolutely adored the first book, which is I think Prince of Thorns, right? Yes, Prince of Thorns. I love the first book. Read it twice. That book was amazing. And this is not a book or a trilogy that many would like, because it's written from a very unlikable character. But I kind of like books that are written by unlikable characters, or the unlikable character is pretty much the POV that you're getting from. Because this young kid, he's 14 or 15, and he is just ruthless, but he has a reason for being ruthless and evil. And I mean, I've read the first book twice. I need to know what happens next for him. Like, I gotta know what happens to Prince George. And so it says at the age of 9, Prince Honoris George Ancraft vowed to avenge his slaughtered mother and brother, and to punish his father for not doing so. At 15, he began to fulfill that vow. Now, at 18, he must fight for what he has taken by torture and treachery. Haunted by the pain of his past and plagued by nightmares of the atrocities he has committed, King George is filled with rage, and even as his need for revenge continues to consume him, an overwhelming enemy force marches on his castle. Jorg knows that he cannot win a fair fight, but he has found a long-hidden cache of ancient artifacts. Some might call them magic. Jorg is not certain. All he knows is that their secrets can be put to terrible use in the coming battle. And so yeah, I like Prince Jorg. He is a savage, and he started very young, at the age of 9. He did witness his mother and brother get slaughtered. His father did nothing. His father treated him like a stepchild, and it was crazy. His father even tried to kill him one time. And so, you know, book 1 was everything to me, and so I'm excited to see what goes on now that he is now king, which is why it's called King of Thorns. And so yeah, I have high hopes of this being a 5-star. Should I say I should have high hopes of this? No, but I'm gonna assume I have high hopes because I actually do like Mark Lawrence's writing. So we have this. Okay, so the 7th and final prompt is Orilium Academy arc, book with a school setting. And so I have 2 options for this because either one will work. Okay, either one will work. And so we have Nevermoor, The Trials of Morrigan Crow by Jessica Townsend, which is a middle grade fantasy. It follows a young girl named Morrigan Crow who's cursed, and then apparently there is a man named Jupiter North that appears before her and whisks her away to a city called Nevermoor. It's a magical city, and there she basically discovers that she can contend for a place in the city's most prestigious organization, which is called the Wondrous Society. And so we have this that I believe has a school setting, and then I also have A Deadly Education by Naomi Novik. I haven't read it. I really want to read it, and so yeah, we have that. I can give this one a go. And all that I know is that this is YA fantasy. It takes place at a magical school, and pretty much the kids have to survive the school events. There are dangerous monsters, there are, you know, things that can kill you pretty much, and you pretty much you pass the school, or you pass your class if you can survive in the end. And so yeah, I'm excited to dive into this. It says, with flawless mastery, Naomi Novik creates a heroine for the ages, a character so sharply realized and so richly nuanced that she will live on in hearts and minds for generations to come. Yeah, we have this again, book of the month copy. And so yeah, okay guys, so that is it for my TBR for the Magical Readathon Novice Path. I'm super excited for this, and I know I keep saying super excited, but I don't have any other word to say outside of that. And so these are the 7 books that I will be reading. If you guys are reading any of these, have read any of these, let me know. If you guys are partaking in a readathon, let me know what you plan to read. How many prompts are you going to be doing? I mean, I know I'm good if I just read 2 of the prompts, 2 of the books for the prompts, but I'm an overachiever, and I pretty much want to complete all 7. And because it coincides with my Bookopoly-a-thon TBR, it works out either way, so I gotta read these books. And so yeah, I'm excited for that, but I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.